Hey YouTube, this is KMCCMK9 Master Tech back with another tutorial actually, but for Garry's mod. Also a quick channel update in the process. Lately there's been a lack of videos, that is due to holidays, end of college, and vacations. This is quite a busy time of the year for me, my family, and my friends, so there wasn't a whole lot able to happen. Now that the holidays are over, traveling's coming to an end for the most part, videos are going to be coming back out in full swing. We have about 4 or 5 Minecraft videos already recorded, so I will be editing those. We're recording a few Garry's mod things, and we're going to move on, probably do some Terraria and other Steam games of the like, so if you have any suggestions for any of those, please send them in. We'd really love to hear any feedback. Ow, that jump really hurt. Okay, so this tutorial is basically going to be just the basics of Garry's mod, because I've had a few people and one Redditor contact me, and, they just asked exactly, I just got Garry's mod, but I don't know what the heck I'm doing with it. So I'm going to explain the basics of Garry's mod and not go into too much depth, not be a huge, long video. But if there's anything specific you did want to see that I didn't cover, or if there's anything you need more clarification on, please don't be afraid to ask in the comments. Okay, so basically, Garry's mod is open world sandbox physics game. There's really no rules, there's no objectives, and it has a full modding support. So you can mod it, you can add, there's so many mods you can get, which I'll probably cover in a different video about modding. But let's just say there's everything from cars, weapons, maps, different game modes. For example, you may have heard of Space Build. That's where you can build a spacecraft and go to outer space, like that kind of stuff. That won't be covered in this video, though. This is really just the basics. So there's many maps to choose from. When I load up some of my menus, I'm going to have some additional stuff that you won't see. Those are mods, so you'll just ignore those. I'll try to, not really talk about them. Hopefully I don't accidentally say one of them. The map I'm on right now is Construct, and it's one of the default maps. Also Flatgrass, and there's a bunch of other ones, but those are the 2 common ones. So basically, you start with this thing right here. This is your main tool. You use this to move objects around, rotate them, and freeze them. Okay, but you can change your tool. So first of all, this is the physics gun, as I said. Right? Now we have a gravity gun, which doesn't serve a whole lot of use in my opinion. Except for pushing stuff, like pushing heavy stuff, you can have fun with that. Now, you have, if you're familiar with Counter-Strike and things like that, you have all the guns, which are fully functional, scopes and all. Alright, so, firing a weapon with left click, if you can zoom, it's right click, kind of a thing. Alright, as you can see, the little hints popping up in the bottom, but now, one thing is, a lot of people, and myself at first, was like, how do I choose which item I want out of this list? Well, you can just left click to choose that item, like that. Now, you can do this with the number keys on your keyboard, or with the scroll wheel. I prefer the scroll wheel personally, but that's just me. Alright, so this is your main tool. Now, if you notice in the bottom left, you have a health. Okay, so you have to watch out for that because your health can die. Now, if you're playing, if you start a server match, even if you don't have any friends and you just do a server match, you can control if you get hurt, that kind of stuff. My jump before when I jumped off of that building kind of hurt me. So that's that. Now, you can customize your character as well. There's default built-in characters, and there's characters you can download. So if you hold down C on your keyboard, it'll bring up this menu. And you can click player model. And you can change which character. I downloaded this one, Batman pack, I believe, that came from, or, Heroes and Villains pack, or something like that. Oh, I would recommend getting your mods from Garry, from the Steam community, though. But here's your defaults, pretty much, all right here at the bottom. Sans Jack Sparrow. He's not default, but the rest of them are pretty much default. Now, one thing I noticed is some people will they'll download a mod and they'll have error signs, or they'll play a map they downloaded and there'll be error signs. That's because you don't have one of the source games that mod or map is relying on. One of the biggest ones would be Counter-Strike source, so I recommend you have that. Otherwise, a lot of maps will have errors. So that's just saying that now. Okay, so basically, to get into it, to place items in the map and stuff like that, you hold down Q. It may take a little while to load this menu, depending, but this is what you'll see pretty much straight up. So you have a bunch of things you can spawn, and to spawn it, you just click it, and it'll pretty much pop up in front of you, sometimes on top of you, and you kind of have to get out. But now, you can maneuver it, like I am doing here. Left click to pick up, you have to hold it though, otherwise it'll fall. But scroll wheel in and out will, push the object in and out. Physics apply, so if you let go, it's going to fall. Really slowly, apparently. My gravity is probably turned to a different setting, but now to rotate, you hold E on your keyboard and move the mouse. Rotating can be tricky, but it can also be kind of fun. Now, if you want to freeze something, you have to right-click it, and then it'll stay frozen. While you're holding it, you right-click it, see, like that, and now it's frozen. So that's pretty cool. You can easily freeze it, which is good for another tool, which I'll talk about, which is welding. But so let's just keep that frozen for the moment. I don't know why. Let's just do it. Again, there's a bunch of things you can spawn. I'm not really going to go through them, but you can choose from all these categories over here. I downloaded one that gives you all the Counter-Strike weapons, stuff like that. Now, normally though, you have Half-Life 2. Not that one, but like if I did this one, these are the same ones, but for the most part, like Slam. You can do that. It'll blow up, that kind of thing. And most of these aren't here normally. Entities, those are going to be your vehicles, some of your vehicles, not all of them. But like by default, you'll end up getting a Half-Life 2 and another, and a Fun and Games. Fun and Games has like a bouncy ball. Oh, I spawned it into the river. Oh, that's sad. There, see, you can play with that. You can push it around. It's kind of fun to watch the physics actually work. So you got that as an option there. NPCs, you can spawn NPCs that you've downloaded or from games. There's and again, all the Half-Life people are here. Vehicles. This is some important stuff. You got a chair, which you need if you want to sit down. But by default, you get this one, which is fine. I think it's really fun to play with the Jeep. I'll give you a demonstration of the Jeep. So, a good example of, let me drive the car. You press E on the seat to get in it. And just like walking, with the WASD, it's the same to drive. Okay. And E to exit again. Now, one thing that I'd like to demonstrate, and this will kind of give you an idea of some of the power that you can do with customization, is my friend and I wanted to both drive in this. As you can tell, there's only one seat. So what we did is we spawned a seat, and you could really attach it anywhere, but you can't freeze it because it's a vehicle. But what you do is you take your seat, and you put it where you want it. So let's just say I wanted it like there. I freeze it, so it's not going to fall right now. But if I drive, it's not going to stay. This requires a new tool. That tool that you're going to be using is the weld tool. So weld is here in your menu. Alright, now you click what you want to weld and then what you want to weld it to. So I welded it to the car. Now, what's important is you won't be able to drive, or physics won't be able to act on it until you unfreeze it. You'll unfreeze it by clicking at it again with the physics gun. So it's unfrozen. So now, if I were to drive, watch the seat. The seat comes with me. I can also choose to sit in this seat versus that seat. I can't control the car, but I can sit in this seat. So it's good if you want to add more seats to cars and other crazy contraptions like that. Now to go over some of the other tools real quick, not all of them because there's a lot, but you can do different kinds of ropes. You can, which if you did a rope, let's just do this. Let's see. I'll spawn a bathtub, I guess. If I rope it to that, when I drive, it pulls the bathtub with it. And there's different kind of ropes and stuff like that. Those are, and some people will do pulleys. I don't really do them that much, but that's one thing you can do. Duplicator allows you to copy and paste, so you can right click. Now I have 2 of them. That kind of a thing. Now, one thing that is awesome is the hover balls. So, if I use the hover balls like on this car, for example, wrong arrow key. Okay, so, you know, with the hover balls, you're able to control its levitation and things of the sort. It's going to float up there for a while. See you later. Okay. You know, but with that, you also have a thruster, which goes along the same line. So let's say I put a thruster. So, posing tools. So this is if you spawn a NPC or a prop person. You know, with the poser, you can pose different parts of him, and you can control it, you can pull it, do hundreds of different doodads. A little hard to tell because he's tiny, but, you know, that's an option. Same with the face, the finger, and an inflator. Now you have cameras, you can change the color, you can change the material of something. Utilities is important because if you're online and you're playing in a match, if you're in the admin, you can clean up certain things because there is a limit to how much you can have. Also, like if I just went to vehicles and I started spawning, I don't know, all these cars. You know, that's just a mosh pit over there. Which I probably shouldn't have done. Okay, so now that everything's glitching out and flying away, we clean up everything, it all goes away. So that's really important, and you can do the same thing if you're a user, not the admin. You can, again, clean up all your stuff. So that's mainly the basic functions. I can go into specific things more often later. Now, the only other thing I would like to demonstrate is no clipping or flying, as some people say. This can be activated by pressing V. So if you do that, you are now flying. Alright? Now, one thing that is also relevant, if you're walking or if you're flying, to sprint, or I guess fly faster, hold down the left shift and you can do things much faster. Now, here's the thing. You're not technically flying. You're no clipping. And what I mean by this is you can go out of the map when you do this. So, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. Because under the map, you can go under the map and look up and you see all this stuff or whatever. Or you can fly out of the map, which may take a little while depending on the size of the map, but see, you're like out of the map now, you're back in the map only by a hair, you know, that kind of a thing. Now, one thing that is a cool trick, that's the map that we were just on. This is just a fun little trick I'm showing you here. There's always a duplicate of your map, some piece of your map somewhere. It just happens to be that way. Now, if you were to spawn something, like a Jeep, outside of the play area, like let's just say there, and we fly back down, it'll appear over there. Just as we did in the small scale. Now, you can't go and touch it or anything, because again, that's out of the map. You're technically not supposed to be able to get there, but it looks funny to see, and you can't touch it from here. You'd have to go back outside. But that was just a fun little trick to show you. So, on top of all this, the last thing that you need to know that exists, because it's important for some mods, not all, is, let me not stop flying, okay, I figured I'd hurt myself, is the command prompt. This can be activated with using the little like asterisk key. It's usually above the tab key on your keyboard. And here's where you can do a bunch of console commands, whatever you want to do. One thing is you can change level from here. So I could change level, which I'm not going to do because that's just going to waste a lot of time, but you could do that right from here. So this is useful for if you're doing single player, if you want to change levels like that instead of backing out and going all the way through it again, or if you're a server admin, that kind of a thing. If you need to kill yourself, you can type kill and you will die. Like so. Now, in multiplayer, you tend to see yourself when you die from a third-person point of view. In single player, not on a server, you don't seem to do that. Now, see in the upper left, something's creating script errors. It's important to hit the asterisk key and find out what it is. So for me, it's Halo skins. You know, whatever it may be. That way you can either report it, get it fixed if it's a mod, or if it's something with your current installation, you know, you can fix it, or it's missing a model, then you know what game you're missing that you need to get. So that's pretty much it. That's the basics of Garry's Mod. I hope you found this tutorial useful. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Reddit as well, so you can find me there. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.